In the northern wilderness of Pakistan, where clouds kiss the edges of the earth, a mountain stands, silent, cold, and watching. They call it Nanga Parbat, the Naked Mountain. A peak so beautiful, so deadly, that it has taken more lives than almost any other in history. Long before it was feared, long before climbers called it the Killer Mountain, one man looked upon its frozen face and saw not death, but destiny. His name was Albert Frederick Mummery, a dreamer, a pioneer, a man who believed the impossible was only a challenge not yet met. In 1895, he led the first expedition to this Himalayan giant, armed with courage, faith, and almost nothing else. But what began as a journey of exploration would soon become a tale of mystery, one written not in ink, but in ice. A story of ambition, disappearance, and a haunting that still echoes through the snows of Nanga Parbat. This is Hidden Chapters. And tonight, we follow the ghost of a man who dared to climb into legend. Albert Frederick Mummery was not like other men. In an age when mountains were feared, he called them the playground of the gods. Born in Dover, England, in 1855, Mummery was a banker by trade, but a mountaineer by soul. He was among the first true alpinists, those who climbed not for fame or conquest, but for the call of the unknown. By his 30s, he had already conquered some of Europe's most dangerous peaks, the Matterhorn, the Greppen, the Grand Charmoz, each victory more daring than the last. But for Mummery, the Alps had grown too small. He wanted something greater, a mountain untouched by man, a challenge that would outlive him. Then one evening, as the story goes, Mummery came across a set of sketches, maps drawn by explorers of the British Empire. And on one of them, a name caught his eye: Nanga Parbat. Rising 8,126 meters above sea level, it was a vast wall of ice and rock in the western Himalayas, a fortress of storms and silence. The locals called it Diamir, the king of mountains. But there were darker names too. They whispered of avalanches that swallowed whole valleys, of spirits that guarded its flanks, of climbers who vanished into blizzards that seemed almost alive. To Mummery, it wasn't a warning, it was an invitation. He once wrote, "The true mountaineer is never content until he has gone where none have gone before." And so in the spring of 1895, Albert Mummery began to prepare for his greatest and final expedition. He gathered a small team: J. Norman Collie, an English chemist and explorer, and Geoffrey Hastings, a fellow mountaineer. Together, they would travel thousands of miles into a world barely mapped, barely understood, and utterly unforgiving. They had no radios, no GPS, no weather forecasts, only notebooks, ropes, and willpower. Before leaving, Mummery reportedly told a friend, "If we are lucky, we may see things no man has ever seen. And if not, well, the mountain will keep its secret." That secret would soon echo through history. In June of 1895, the expedition set sail from England to India. After weeks at sea, they reached Bombay, then by train to Rawalpindi. From there, the long trek began, through the heat of Punjab, across the forests of Kashmir, and into the shadows of the western Himalayas. They carried hundreds of pounds of gear, clothing, tents, ropes, scientific tools, all hauled by local porters and ponies. It was a journey that tested the spirit more than the body. In his journal, Mummery wrote, "We were entering a world untouched by time. The air was so still, it felt as though the mountains themselves were watching us." As they reached the Indus River Valley, a sight emerged through the mist, a towering wall of white that seemed to rise from the earth itself. It was Nanga Parbat. The locals warned them not to go. They spoke of curses, of spirits that guarded the mountain's heart, of travelers who entered its slopes and never returned. Mummery smiled and said quietly, "Then it's a fine place to test one's courage." By late July, they established base camp in the Diamir Valley, beneath cliffs that looked like frozen waves. The temperature dropped below zero each night. Avalanches rumbled like distant thunder. With them were 3 Gurkha soldiers, Raghubir Thapa, Goman Singh, and Rahim, men of strength and silence. They had never seen snow before. For weeks, the team battled upward, cutting paths through deep ice, building makeshift ladders, fighting storms that struck without warning. Mummery's health began to fade. He suffered from altitude sickness, and his face grew pale from exhaustion. Still, he refused to turn back. On August 20th, they reached 6,100 meters, a record for the time. From there, Mummery looked upward at the peak and whispered, "We are so close. Yet the mountain seems endless." A storm rolled in that night, winds tearing through their camp, snow burying their tents. When the skies cleared, they found that one of their supply caches had vanished, swallowed by an avalanche. Their food was running low. The porters begged to descend. Mummery agreed, but not before one last attempt to scout a route. He told Colley and Hastings he'd take 2 Gurkhas to explore a nearby glacier. He'd be gone only a few hours. That was the last time anyone saw him alive. Days passed. No sign of Mummery, no footprints, no movement on the slopes. Colley and Hastings organized search parties, but the mountain was silent. Then, a local shepherd claimed he had seen 3 small figures high on the Rakiat face before an avalanche thundered down. Colley's heart sank. He wrote later, "We called out his name across the snow, and only the wind replied." The Gurkhas, Colley and Hastings, searched for days, but found nothing. No bodies, no gear, no trace, only silence, and the mountain, still and cold as ever. When the survivors returned to England, they carried only their journals and grief. The world was stunned. A British hero vanished in the Himalayas. Newspapers called it the tragedy on the naked mountain. And for decades, Mummery's fate remained one of mountaineering's great mysteries. Some believed he fell into a crevasse, others thought he'd been buried by an avalanche, and some whispered that Nanga Parbat itself had claimed him. Colley never forgot. In his later years, he wrote, "Sometimes when I close my eyes, I still hear his laughter, carried on the wind from the mountain." Decades passed, climbers came, and climbers died. In 1934, a German team lost 10 men on the same slopes. In 1937, 16 more. It was then that the world began calling it the Killer Mountain. Locals say that on stormy nights, a voice still echoes down the Diamir Valley, a faint, distant call, like a man shouting through the snow. They call it the Ghost of Mummery. Even today, climbers who ascend Nanga Parbat speak of strange dreams, visions of a figure in old climbing gear, standing on a ridge and watching silently. Maybe it's the mountain's wind, maybe it's imagination, or maybe some spirits never truly leave the peaks they loved. In the heart of the Himalayas, Nanga Parbat still stands, beautiful, brutal, and untamed. No one ever found Albert Mummery's body, but his name endures, etched into the mountain's story and whispered by every climber who dares its slopes. He came seeking adventure and became a legend. Maybe he reached the summit, maybe he never returned, but in the eyes of the mountain, it makes no difference. Because on Nanga Parbat, no man truly conquers. They only visit, and sometimes they stay. This was Hidden Chapters. If this story moved you, subscribe and join us again as we uncover the forgotten mysteries of our world.